We've all heard that old saying, the customer is always right. But what does it actually mean to build a business, or even just your own career, around that idea? It's so much more than a slogan. Today, we're going to break down what customer focus really is and turn it into a practical guide you can start using, well, right away. Let's dive in.
So let's start with a question for you. Think about the last time you ditched a brand. Maybe it was your coffee shop, your phone company, anything. Was it the price? Was it the product? Well, the data shows the real reason is usually something way more human and totally preventable.
68%. Just let that number sink in for a second. More than 2/3 of customers who decide to leave a business, they don't leave because of the product or how much it costs. Nope, they leave for one single, powerful reason.
And there it is, indifference. It's that feeling that you, the customer, are just another number, just a transaction. It's the feeling that they just don't care. And that is the core problem we're here to solve today. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing that you genuinely give a damn. Okay, so to fix that feeling of indifference, we first have to get on the same page about what customer focus even means. Let's build that foundation together.
Now, here's the most important part to get right. Customer focus is not just a friendly attitude. It's an entire business strategy. It means that every single decision, from the folks in engineering to the marketing team, it all starts with one question. How is this going to affect our customer? And this is where we need to kind of stretch our thinking a bit. Because when we say customer, most of us immediately picture the person who's buying the thing at the end of the line. But that's only half the picture.
This distinction is such a game changer. We all know about our external customers, right? The people who pay the bills. But we so often forget about our internal customers, our own colleagues and teammates. I mean, think about it. If you're not serving your internal team well, how on earth can you expect them to serve the external customer well? They are the absolute foundation of the whole experience.
So now that we know what customer focus is and who it's for, let's get into the how. What are the core strategies for really building this mindset into the way you work every day? Okay, you can think of these as the 4 pillars of a truly customer-focused operation. It starts with listening, and I mean really listening to understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Then it's about anticipating what they need before it even becomes a problem. You have to actively seek out feedback to show that you value what they think. And this last one is so important. You have to empower your team, your internal customers. Because if your own people can't actually fix a problem, your whole customer-focused strategy is just empty words. Okay, so that's the high-level strategy. Now let's bring it down to a personal level and talk about the practical skills you need to bring all this to life. This is where the rubber really meets the road. I really like how this is laid out, almost like a toolkit. You've got your essentials, right? Patience, clear communication, problem solving. But the one tool that really powers all the others, the one I want to zero in on for a second, is empathy.
See, empathy is a strategic tool. It's not about just saying, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's about being able to say, I understand why you feel that way, and I can see the problem from your side. That tiny shift in perspective, that's what unlocks the best solution, almost every time.
Which, of course, leads us to the topic everybody dreads, what to do with difficult customers. But listen, instead of dreading it, let's look at this as a high-stakes moment where you can actually shine.
First things first, we've got to reframe this whole situation. An upset customer isn't just a problem you have to get rid of. They are a data point, a very loud, very clear data point that is putting a spotlight on a weakness in your process. And in that sense, their frustration is actually a gift.
So how do you handle that gift? You use a framework. A really simple one to remember is LAST. Listen, acknowledge, solve, and thank. This little 4-step process gives you a clear roadmap to follow in what feels like a chaotic conversation. You just let them talk, you validate their feelings, you take ownership of the solution, and then you thank them for bringing the problem to you in the first place.
And here's the secret benefit for you. This method isn't just for them. It is absolutely for you. When you have a process to follow, you're no longer just reacting emotionally. You are in control of the situation. And that dramatically lowers your own stress and leads to a way better outcome for everyone.
All right, let's wrap it up with our 3 biggest takeaways from all this. First, customer focus is about intentional action. It's a system you build, not just a nice attitude you have. Second, remember your internal customers. They are just as critical to your success. And finally, when things get heated, use a simple process like the LAST method to turn that chaos into control. So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. What is one conversation you can have this week, maybe with a client, maybe with a colleague, where your only goal isn't to sell or persuade, but just to listen and understand their needs a little better? Because that right there, that's where true customer focus always begins. Thanks so much for joining me.